right, a very good morning to you, and you're welcome to the Koleam Sat studio this morning. It's another great Wednesday morning. It's a come talk about our great nation, Nigeria. My name is Wuraola Yusuff, and of course, you know who I'm in the studio with. As it is the norm, we'll be taking it from the front pages of our daily newspapers, after which Maestro would let us know how the stories just help us with the analysis and explanation of how the stories, how they do affect and concern us as Nigerians, whether in the country or not. All right, I'll be picking it up from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. On page 20, Nasima others kick as CBN hikes interest rate to 26.75%. Quite a lot of writers to that one. One coming from Cardoso saying external reserves hit $37 billion as diaspora remittance rise 62%. Capital importation rises 23.4% to $5.9 billion in first quarter of 2024. On page 5, we have the story saying, protests needless. I am addressing your grievances. That one is coming from President Tinubu to the youths. The writer to that one says, as Ononuka Obi's face-off takes a new twist. All right, then, on page 9, Dangote NNPCL feud worrisome. That one is coming from Obi, Additional, and Otedola. On page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Lagos billionaire kidnappers. On page 6, the story concerning that says, last-minute conversation before the struck at Latipo. On page 8, National Assembly passes a 70,000 naira minimum wage bill into law. Moving on to the Punch newspaper today. On page 16, Senate approves IGP's tenure extension. On page 25, federal government votes 2 trillion naira for Lagos Calabar. Others. On the issue of the nationwide protest, right here on the front page of the Punch newspaper, on page 2, SGF ministers hold emergency meeting today. The two writers to that one. The first one says, Tinubu urges youth to shelve August 1 rally. Atiku, Labour Party caution against protesters' arrest. The second one says, Egbetokun warns anti-government protesters, says Nigeria hasn't recovered from end SARS protests. On page 7, drama as reps order WAEC officials detention. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Military hands over rescued Chibok girls, 330 others to Borno government. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper today. The stories alongside others are what we have to talk about today concerning our great country, Nigeria. And of course, I have a Maestro in the studio with me. Good morning, Maestro. You're welcome.
Good morning, Wura. It's good to be here.
All right. I hope the week has been great.
We thank God for his mercies.
As always. All right. We have quite a lot of things to talk about. Maybe not quite a lot of things, but I feel one would probably extend and it will take so much of our time. Yes, we are on the issue of the protest again. And there are a lot of angles to this thing right now. The first one is coming from Mr. President saying that, dear youths, do not go on strike as it is needless. I am working on your demands. So what you people are taking as your grievances, I am working on it. So there is no need for you to go on protest. And also we have this one that is coming from the angle of Alhaji Idris and also Mr. Peter Obi is saying that, Ononuka and Peter Obi, there is something like a face-off because I saw a letter coming from Mr. Peter Obi yesterday to Mr. Bayo Ononuga saying that, see, my lawyers are going to come to you. So, but first, what did Mr. President say? We have a clip on what Mr. President said concerning the fact that, dear youths, you need to give me time. Let us take let me just have a moment to try and address issues. What did Mr. President say? We are going to play that for us right now. But before then, Maestro, is this the best approach to this thing? The government's coming out to say. I mean, is this the best approach to that? Because we have Mr. President. Someone came to speak on his behalf. Let me just say that. But still, it is coming from Mr. President. I want us to listen to what the person said. But,
Okay.
in a second, we'll have the video. But is this the right approach to it?
All right, should we listen to it? Should I go on with
I want us to listen to it, but
right.
it seems it's not ready. Just let's start talking.
Okay. In the meantime, maybe while Flimsy looks for that,
Yes.
let me quickly say something about social media platforms. For people who are asking, I got a lot of that yesterday.
Oh.
We're on. Okay, so let me make this statement. I am
Okay.
at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, and we run the dailies from Monday to Friday. And I have the Yoruba presentation of Igbesi on Sundays. On this same platform at on Sundays at between 7 o'clock and 9 p.m. Now, yes, thank you for the surge. I can't open up for people to participate on TikTok because it's a radio program and it is not so designed.
Yes.
So I'm sorry for all those requesting that we should bring them in. I possibly can't do that because, but thank you all the same. And let me also tell you that you can see me on Agidigbo 88.7 FM Facebook.
Yes.
It also runs on TikTok, as you could also follow me on Dotun _Maestro on my TikTok, and it's live now. So thank you very much. I've explained everything. Concerning gifts, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I think people are free to do whatever they want to do as regards that. So thank you very much.
We'll probably cut that and put it on your Facebook or something. This part of you explaining.
If you could just do that, I'll be glad.
Yeah, I'll do that. We have the video now concerning what Mr. President said to the youths and those are planning the protest. I think slated for August. Let's listen to it.
We also discussed the issue of the country generally, and Mr. President has asked me to, again, inform Nigerians that he listens to them, especially the young people that are trying to protest. Mr. President is listening to them. He takes what they say seriously and is working assiduously to ensure that this country is good, not just for today, but also for the future. The issue of the planned protest, Mr. President does not see any need for that. He's asked them to shelve that plan. He's asked them to await government's response to all their pleas. He has listened to them, like I said, and a lot is happening. Only today, the National Assembly has expeditiously passed the new national minimum wage. You can see how the president is working. It was transmitted only yesterday. Today, it has been passed. A lot of other interventions that the president has also put in place are also going to be looked at expeditiously in the interest of Nigeria. So there's no need for strike. The young people out there should listen to the president and allow the president more time to see to the realization of all the goodies he has for them. We also discussed the issue of the country generally, and Mr. President has asked me to, again, inform Nigerians that he listens to them, especially the young people that are trying to protest. Mr. President is listening to them. He takes what they say seriously and is working assiduously to ensure that this country is good, not just for today, but also for the future. The issue of the planned protest, Mr. President does not see any need for that. He's asked them to shelve that plan. He's asked them to await government's response to all their pleas. He has listened to them, like I said, and a lot is happening. Only today, the National Assembly has expeditiously passed the new national minimum wage. You can see how the president is working. It was transmitted only yesterday. Today, it has been passed. A lot of other interventions that the president has also put in place are also going to be looked at expeditiously in the interest of Nigeria. So there's no need for strike. The young people out there should listen to the president and allow the president more time to see to the realization of all the goodies he has for them.
All right, the young people out there should listen to Mr. President. There is no need for protest. There is no need for strike. Maestro, you have the floor.
Okay, people have to do what they have to do. You know, the president would not like a strike to happen, protest to happen. And so he would play his role of urging the people who want to protest not to protest. I think that's the most natural thing in the world. And the people who want to protest too, they probably will not be assuaged. They probably will not be placated by simply telling them to shelve it and working on your grievances and so on. So I think they also have their, business cut out for them. Those who would be interested in protesting. So one is not going to stop the other. I don't think one is going to stop the other.
Okay.
The intentions of protest will not stop the president from urging them not to. And the urging of the president is not going to stop, those who believe they must protest.
How about when Mr. President is saying, give me more time, to give me little time to address
It makes sense.
your grievances?
Personally, I think it makes sense that he should ask for more time. He is exhausted 1 year of 4. We have 3 to go. So, and somebody who's in the middle of fighting different types of cabals, is it the forest cabals cabal that we have seen? Subsidy cabal is there.
Refinery.
Governors are there dead set against local government autonomy until he was able to find a way through that one. And of course the banks. So, and that's just a few of the kind of battle. Oil and gas, they are there. So, and these are very powerful forces everywhere. So when you're working and then you have a dysfunctional structure. So when you're working as a president in this country or as a governor, you're walking a very tightrope because the structure to get your job done is just not there, which is why we have looked at everything. Despite or in spite of anybody, we simply, push for restructuring so that even the average person in public office will be able to perform. I saw Chief Dr. Yusuff, talking about going back to the regions,
which you said is almost impossible now.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's not almost; it's just impossible. Unless we do we go through some very drastic process. I don't see regions. I see zones though. And he was talking about it, and he wasn't simply talking about going back to the regions because of the key point he was trying to make, which was part-time legislatures and so on. No, or that he wants more money. He's come to a realization that this system will never work unless we do something as profound as that. Listen, the point is, when he was really young, he was governor of Abia State. Dr. Yusuff was governor of Abia State, and I'm sure that it didn't cross his mind some 20-something odd years ago that he will be calling for regions. 25 years down the line or thereabouts. And that is the problem you have with public office holders, including every last person. You see, when they get inside the office, it's a cushion. It's some kind of golden cage. They get separated totally from us. And especially the president, he is too far away. By virtue of the way that presidency is, is designed. So I see that if he's asking for more time, that's his natural role again to request more time.
Okay.
But I think he deserves it, alongside the fact that people who are saying we're hungry, we need to be on the streets, they also reserve the right to be there. This is how democracy plays out. You know, somebody saying, look, I'm working at this thing, give me... It's not even supposed to be requesting time because he has 4 years. And people are not supposed to be saying, oh, you have 4 years, so we will endure the hunger a little bit more. People have to express, even within the confines of democracy. And that's my position. Go on fighting your cabals instead of standing up now as he is for restructuring this country. And he's standing, but I don't believe that he's where we really want. That should be in the front burner. But I understand he's also playing his politics, because if you are not there, you won't even be able to fight for anything.
Exactly.
If he's not president, what could he possibly be fighting for? He will be fighting from, and he's been there for so long. Now he's president. He needs to be there for as long as he could in order to get as much as he could. So I can't fault anybody. I can't fault the people who are saying, look, you have to do something about this hunger. And I can't fault him saying, okay, give me a little more time.
Maestro, do you think it is unfair for this kind of thing to be going on, saying we are going to go on a protest, that is what we are going to do, for a government that is just a year in office?
Well, you see, you can't beat a child and insist that the child should not cry. So if somebody is hungry, the person is hungry. There's no shortcut to that. You react as such, sincerely. So because we're all feeling it. It's just that some people feel it more than others. Just as some people are much more, comfortable than the rest of us. I mean, that's what, we're experiencing. I keep seeing these guys here and there, having their, celebrations. First, we had the Davido celebration, didn't we? What did they call that? Chivido. Thank you, Flimsy. So Chivido, we had Chivido. It was like this wasn't happening in Nigeria, right?
I mean.
Okay, so let's assume that the Adeleke's are, they are billionaires, they are rich. What about Fetia Balogun's father's burial?
Yes, he saw that.
Oh, I saw that. And it was as beautiful as it could be. With a lot of money spent on that. And people look good. So what am I trying to say? Look how long Nollywood has come. Because there was a time they would not have been able to do that. They just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So if we are looking at the extremes, we should also be able to break things down very well. That, some of us are actually faring fine, but we want many more people to come into that fine fold.
I mean, because the percentage of those that are doing fine compared to those that are not doing fine.
Yes, it's not enough. It's not enough. But I'm just looking at the indicators, and I'm talking about abject poverty in that industry once. It's turning around gradually. Even inside our industry, it's not for everybody still.
Yes, of course.
But you can imagine some of these guys who probably were begging for roles, like before this thing took off in 1999, begging for roles. Some of them are billionaires today. And it's not because any man gave them money. It's because they turned out their films, technology changed. They're no more selling CDs and VCDs here and there. So now their money is coming to them. Money that got lost, in Alaba market before. Because as soon as you cut your film, they grab it.
Piracy.
Yes, and they will reproduce in millions and sell before you get a kobo. They've taken all your sweat away.
All right, Maestro, still on the issue of the protest, we have an angle coming from the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. What did he say? Let's go pay some bills when we're back. We'll continue the conversation, because what he said is bringing reactions from people again. How would you say that? What do you mean? Let's go pay some bills. We'll be back.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
Ó yá gbà ọmọ mi ọ̀wọ́n.
Mami, fi mílíkì sí ni.
Kò di dandan, ìwọ tó wò ná. báwo lẹ ṣe ṣe.
ǹjẹ́ mílìkì inú ẹ̀ péye.
ní gidi gan.
ṣé ọ̀rá wàrà inú ẹ̀ ṣàn tó.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy nìyẹn o. mílìkì inú ẹ̀ péye mi ò nílò láti ṣàfikún mílìkì sí i.
mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀ màámi.
fún àwọn ọmọ rẹ ní Milo 3-in-1 milky àti creamy tuntun, mílìkì inú ẹ̀ péye ó kún fún káṣíọ̀mù láti ran àwọn ọmọ rẹ lọ́wọ́ láti yege lójoojúmọ́. Milo, agbára láti tẹ̀síwájú.
Milo.
My baby is 6 months old.
Oh my! 6 months old? Wow! Now your baby needs more than breast milk. It's time to introduce mashed meals. In addition to breast milk, begin to give your baby mashed meals that contain at least one item from each of these 5 food groups: eggs, fish or meat, fruits and vegetables, oils, beans, groundnuts, soya or millet, rice, potato, maize or yam. From 6 months. In addition to breast milk, your baby needs this combination of food types to grow healthy. This message is from the ANRIN Project or your State Ministry of Health.
Fellow Nigerians, mummies, daddies, and children, please listen. It's no longer news that there's cholera outbreak, but don't worry. Cholera is highly preventable with good hygiene practice in the home. Ensure you disinfect your floors, clothes, and surfaces with Hypo bleach. And always remember to care for your toilets with Hypo toilet cleaner. This way, you'll protect your family and stop the spread of cholera.
Congratulations! Do not waste time. Put your baby to breast within the first 1 hour of delivery to give that first yellowish milk colostrum. Colostrum has all the important nutrients your baby needs to start a healthy life. Colostrum also helps to protect your baby against diseases. Remember, put your baby to breast within the first 1 hour of delivery. This message is from the ANRIN Project or your State Ministry of Health.
My son, help me check this phone. I no know wetin Junior press. E no dey work again.
Make I see. Ah, mommy.
Wetin happen?
They don't block your line now.
Nobody like to chop blocking o. So, if they don't block you unto say you not link your NIN to your Airtel line, run kitty go any Airtel shop with your NIN to unblock your line today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. This is still the dailies right here at Agidigbo 887 FM. And of course, before we went on that break, we were talking about the strike, the nationwide strike that is being planned by some people, majorly youths, telling Mr. President that we are tired. And we also have quite a lot of people backing this. People can say, let's talk about the people that are not in government currently. Talking about Alhaji Atiku, talking about Mr. Peter Obi. And there is another drama entirely going on social media between Mr. Peter Obi and Mr. Bayo Ononuga. I think Mr. Peter Obi is suing Bayo Ononuga for 5 billion naira because he said he's the one fueling the protest. So he got that yesterday. And in a reply, Mr. Bayo Ononuga said, see, I'm still expecting your lawyers. Let them come serve me. I've not gotten any of that. Let's talk about that before we go to the angle of the IGP.
That's the political part of things. You understand? It's the political part of things. And the way the presidency is structured this time, this administration has Chief Bayo Ononuga as the ferocious, guard playing that role, while I believe that Ngelale plays the direct
peaceful
spokesperson role, and you have the Minister of Information doing another thing. So that's how I think they structured the media system. And I think we will see many more of this before the tenure is over. So they're playing their politics. It's possible for Mr. Obi to have walked away from that, or simply respond and walk away. But I think he is trying to emphasize the fact that he's not playing the role that Mr. Ononuga is dressing him with. The man is dressing him in borrowed robes. And so he has to make a point because it's something that has gone abroad, that it's opposition that is actually fueling the planned protests. So let them play their politics. If they go to court, it's still at the stage of threat. If they finish threatening one another and they go to court, we will cover it, we'll report it, we'll talk about it. And if they end up paying one another some fines.
With apology.
How does it concern me what they are doing to one another?
But coming from the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, do you think the bans on social media, do you think it is needed? Because in one way or the other, you're representing the government.
That's why I'm saying, initially, when the time I didn't quite understand that design, I was a bit worried about Mr. Bayo Onuga's...
And what's he saying on behalf of the government?
But I've taken my time to look at it, and I see... And I told you once a story about Dr. Ruben Abati.
Yes,
yes. So I think that the role that the likes of Dr. Donyo Okupe played in the Obasanjo administration, in Jonathan administration, is the role that Chief Ononuga is playing now in Tinubu's administration. So that's their thing. But the more important thing, though, is that we should be able to recognize when politicians are playing politics.
Okay.
And so it does not pollute the conversation that concerns us more. Because, look, Wura, between you and I, these guys have money. They are rich. So when we begin to take sides on this, billionaire side and that billionaire side, I don't understand. But I like to look at, of course, all sides, but more importantly, which side concerns the poor people more. Because we can come here and talk. The really poor people, they don't even know what's going on. They don't know what's wrong with them. They simply know they're hungry, and they lack a lot of things.
A second, Maestro.
It's 7 a.m. on Agidigbo 88.7 FM.
All right, we're back.
They just know that there's hunger biting. They lack a lot of things. They live in squalor. They don't have the opportunity to talk for themselves.
Okay.
Therefore, if we waste the kind of time that we should be talking on their behalf or on talking on this side or that side of billionaires, I think it's a mistake.
All right, then. And now let us go to what the IGP of Police, Inspector General of Police, said concerning the protest. He is saying, please, we have not recovered from the outcome of the NSAS protest. And according to him, in quote, he said, we will be professional in handling any protest in Nigeria. Right to protest, it is a right. A right to protest is a right to peaceful protest. And quite a lot of people, they have started analyzing that statement, saying, are you trying to threaten us in a subtle manner? What do you mean? It is our right to protest. And it is your right, it is your obligation to protect protesters and ensure that everything goes on well. So, what is going on? What are you saying? That is what...
The way I hear it, I think is clear enough. I think what he's saying is, according to his own office, he's drawing a line. So long as you're protesting peacefully, I don't have a problem with you. The moment it steps out, of peaceful protest, then we have a problem. That's all. And that problem could look like the one we had the last time. I think it's there's no way he says it that it will not be twisted or translated and so on, especially on the social media, because 90% of the debate on the social media is ignorant, and I think willfully so, because people are more interested in entertaining themselves than in actually understanding the issues. And our issues, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa, our issues are so complicated and far in advance of our understanding. They run along, far ahead of us, because don't forget that our education system is not even strong enough to handle the kind of complexities and the complications of our issues. So when you go too much by the social media, you might be going the wrong way. Like I was telling you yesterday, there are different shades to this protest. Some people are saying we are going to protest. Some people are saying we are not interested.
Do it in your state.
The ROI is saying we are not even doing at all in the north. The ROI youth, they have gone to make their case that they are not doing any protest in the north. So, and some people are saying, okay, we are going to protest, but let everybody do it in their different states. And some people are saying, different shades. I even heard some people are saying, look, at the end of the day, you bring this thing down upon Igbo if we participate. We are not participating.
Because of what is on ground.
So you have discordant tunes, really. You have different shades. And I think it's because of our nature. The nature of our polity is one essentially driven by ethnicity and religion. And so sometimes people are saying we don't want to protest because of that religious bent, which is not in favor of protests. Sometimes it's because of politics. Some people are looking at the situation and thinking, look, if we start protesting in the north today, what is standing there tomorrow for us? Because that is opening it. You are now saying the north is now open for protest business. So you cannot reverse that the moment you do it, and so on and so forth. I don't think that is even enough a threat to the north, because we've always protested here, always, whether a northerner is there or not. Southwest will protest whenever it feels like it should protest. And so, but you see, these things have political consequences, because any averagely intelligent person recognizes the fact that when you see a protest, you know it is organized. That is a fact, a final fact. When you see a protest, you know it's organized. And when you organize something, it's because of your benefit.
In one way or the other. Concerning this, we see had Mr. Bayo Nonuga, that is the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, as describing the call for nationwide protest as treasonable. He said, in quote, if they understand the meaning of their hashtags, they will realize that they are clarion calls for treason. Wanting to end an elected government is high treason. Wanting revolution is a call for coup d'etat, which is also high treason. He said that, after which he then accused, the Mr. Peter Obi.
You see, the call for these things is different from protest itself.
Oh.
So I was telling you the other time, it sounded funny. There is something called incitement that is in our business. And that business of incitement starts moving towards the realm of law and order.
Okay.
So, but in our business, we don't allow incitement while you're broadcasting. But when it gets to a point, incitement itself is an offense, under the law. But when you now begin to write that a duly elected president should resign, that's no longer, you're not covered by law of protest again. It's different too. Now, if you simply carry your placard and you're protesting on the streets, you're covered.
Okay.
That's your right that you're exercising. The Constitution even says it should be protected. But before then, when you begin to write and transmit
inciting
and broadcast
people
that, come, let's make sure that the president, let's force him out of office. Let's, end this, let's end that. So lawyers will have one or two things to say about that. I don't know whether all the charges that Chief Ononuga listed, I don't know whether they are valid, because I'm not a lawyer. But I have a feeling that if some of these things, were taken up, somebody might go to prison.
Because the people are concerned about the fact that they keep hearing treason when they talk about
protest.
Yes,
it's quite possible. I don't know.
So they are saying, Mr. President, you once protested on the street of Nigeria because you wanted...
So what was he protesting over? It's important. You see, it's not... enough to fling these things and say, oh, the president protested once. What was he protesting about is important, isn't it? So let's look at what he was protesting.
What was he protesting about?
I think that time they did Occupy Nigeria.
Yes,
first time
Occupy
he was his first protest, let's be clear. His first protest was not his own. It was a Nadeco thing that says, military, we cannot finish an election and then you will annul it and say we should all go back home. It wasn't his protest. It was largely Southwest.
Okay.
And then some other people from other regions of the country joined in that protest.
How about other ones?
Like the one I told you was political. It was his own political protest. He was protesting. He was walking the streets on behalf of a new political party that they were going to set up. So how does that concern me? It does not concern me. And that's what brought APC about. It wasn't the only one. General Muhammadu Buhari was there, and some other people who are, who actually became emergency activists on the moment. He is an activist. He's been an activist for quite a while. And when he was in governor's office, he was protesting against the federal government that held all local government funds. The man is a protester. There's no doubt about it.
So that's what people are saying. So why don't you tell us not to
But
go out
was
on the
he
street?
inciting anybody? Was he saying that the president then should get out of office, that he should be forced out of office? So don't compare these things. Let's say that his administration is not doing enough. That is the grouse. So that's why I said, when you want to ask me to come out for a protest, even if you are not the sharpest, pencil in the box, you have to have something that I can hold on to. I cannot follow an absolute moron out to say I'm going to protest. He's going to expose me to all manner of danger.
We need to have a plan.
There has to be something we will agree on. Okay, if I sat down with you, I would have said, look, remove this title of end to bad governance. It is meaningless. It's just like you set up an unattainable goal for yourself. You remember the story of the buffalo and the frog? So the frog challenged the buffalo to a race. You remember that?
Yes, I do know.
So there's no way the buffalo could win.
Okay, so you're saying #end bad governance. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make
it
sense.
can't happen in Nigeria.
Bad governance happens everywhere, even in the homes. How do you end it? You don't end it. You have to be more specific about the goals you want to go and get. When somebody said, look, military, go back to the barracks, that's what Nigerians are asking for. So we said, yes, that's attainable. So how are you going to end bad governance when God himself, who created all of us, has not been able to end bad humans in the world? It's the kind of goal that you set so that you'll be there forever. So I would have said, let's remove that. Let's put, give us state police.
Okay.
I would have said, even let's put restructuring. Okay, what other things so that we set out? I'll be willing to go with my placard.
All right then. Now the federal government has scheduled an emergency meeting for this morning. So we'll await the outcome of the meeting and see where we go from there. Let us move on now to another story because yesterday the National Assembly they okayed the 70,000 naira wage, and the Labour are to meet governors very soon to have more discussions. But they have passed the 70,000 naira minimum wage bill into law. It was swift. So
it's a done deal already. And I think the Senate president sees the opportunity to apologize.
I have the video.
Okay, all right.
I have the video.
So, well, I think Labour is for now, okay. And I think students are also getting their loans.
Yes, it's a
tuition and upkeep and so on. So maybe we should ask for more of those things. Maybe we should push in those directions more. And I think we should find more effective instruments of pressure. You know, we are supposed to be pressure groups here and there because democracy envisages lapses like this.
Okay.
So that you can have a government in place and you still have difficulties as a people. So you have pressure groups that are supposed to be highly effective in pressurizing, administrators or governors and so on to do better in office. But, we are failing in that regard because activism has fallen flat in this country. And I think we should wake it up again.
All right, then. Let us talk about that is the labor unions. They are okay for now concerning the 70,000 naira wage.
I don't know why they are okay though.
From the amount they wanted.
I don't know why they are okay.
320 or how much?
Right in the middle of this struggle, naira depreciated.
And
the dollar went up again. So how much is 70,000 naira now?
But they're okay with it.
And the markets are waiting. The markets are waiting. So that's what I was telling you while we were discussing this strike and so on all along.
Yes.
That, look, this is a futile venture. At the end of the day, how much do you actually, how much do you get added to what you were getting before? And it's not just them now that will suffer when they get to the market. The rest of us will also go to that market.
Because when they hear minimum wage is now 70,000 naira.
We didn't get any additional nothing.
We didn't.
So all of us are now going to be in for it. So that's why I'm advocating new instruments of, pressurizing, people in government to do better than they're doing.
All right, then. Let us talk about Dangote, but before we talk about Dangote, we need to go pay some bills now. But let me just roughly tell you the Dangote story this morning. We have the issue of the Malta plant. Kyari counters Dangote amid call for probe. And then there is another one. Yes, still Kyari saying, I do not own a blending plant in Malta. And then there is this one coming from the business tycoon Otedola saying, supporting local champions, crucial. Local champions in quote, crucial to Nigeria's economic development. And Atiku saying, Dangote NMDPRA conflict troubling in Nigeria. So we have those angles to the story. Let's go pay some bills. We'll be back.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
Láti dènà àrùn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru àti àrùn mìíràn pàápàá nínú àwọn ọmọdé, fọ ọwọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ àtomi tó ń dà ṣooro. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ tó o bá lo ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ tán lẹ́yìn tó bá ti ṣàǹdí fọ́mọ tán kó o tó ṣe oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ tàbí kó o tó fún un lóúnjẹ. Àti pé tí ọmọ rẹ bá ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru, fún un ní oògùn oníwóró zinc lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ àti ORS ní wákàtí mẹ́rin tàbí kí ẹ máa fún díẹ̀díẹ̀ nínú ife. Èyí á jẹ́ kọ́mọ rẹ lè ní ìdápadà omi ara àtokun. Bákan náà, yọjú sílé iṣẹ́ ètò ìlera tó bá súnmọ́ ọ jùlọ láti gba ìtọ́jú fọ́mọ tó ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkànṣeṣẹ́ ARIN, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Health, they say, is wealth. But when securing good health costs you an arm and a leg, or when you are at the hospital and they insist on a hefty deposit before treatment,
but when Avon HMO has your back, you won't have to scream "Yekba," because in the end, we all need people. Visit avonhealthcare.com now to get an Avon Health plan for you and your people.
Avon HMO, empowering you to live a healthier, fuller life.
Guy, if I tell you see all this plenty airtime and data, where they take flex? Now dash glow dash me, you go believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
There now, as I buy my glow sim like this spirit, I first collect 1,000 naira welcome bonus, Sarah. As I come recharge, bam, glow knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
Wait, you mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus?
Yes.
Plus double data again?
Yes.
Papa, where's universe now?
The glow break the universe now. You want try?
Oh, mo! No wonder boys they flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop. Hey, I talk am.
My people, Not let grass grow under your leg. Go get your Glow SIM today. Dial star 301 hash to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus up to double data.
Glow Unlimited.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, this is still the dailies, of course. Still talking about Dangote and all the issues surrounding him. Yes, it seems something is being done right now. The picture on the front page of Nigerian Tribune is President and CEO of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, in Gabon, on invitation of the president, the Gabon president, to explore investment opportunities in cement and fertilizer. That was yesterday.
I think Gabon also has crude. So he's a big-time businessman.
Inviting him at this time.
Well, it might be symbolic. I don't know. But I don't believe that. You see, he should not be going through what he's going through.
Right now.
Within this context, I'm not in love with Dangote. So, because this is why I always say, look, let's be contextual. All these accusations and so on and so forth that they are bringing in, they are issues that we were talking about in the past. And nobody even gave us a lot of... To the point that his trucks, the Dangote trucks, at some point were so extremely reckless, running vehicles off the roads and everything.
Yeah,
and
there was a time like that.
A menace. But that's not what we are discussing now. What we are discussing now is a massive program. There's a program designed by, it's a global program. And the program has been working for the entire globe all along in the interest of the West up till some point in history when the Asians, majorly the Chinese and the Indians, started withdrawing from that grip, the colonial grip. People wouldn't realize that. Some people, of course, a lot of us would know, or some might not know, that China was a colony before. India was a colony before. But the thing they did not do, they did not yield their tongue. The Chinese went on right through colonial period to speak Chinese. The Indian to speak Indian. They held on to their tongues. They held on to their gods.
Unlike who?
Unlike the entire stretch of Africa, we are the ones who speak French more than the French. We speak English more than the English. We lost our tongues, in Nigeria to the English and to maybe the Arabic, and it's done and dusted. And we also got their gods in return. They simply had to just fold their hands. They don't have to hold a gun over our head anymore. We will simply worship them, and we do. And that is why that globalist agenda is so efficient in Nigeria. So now, this crude oil, they were the ones who came. You and I owned this crude oil before.
It is ours.
Entirely, we owned it. Now when people say our oil, they are just joking. It's no longer our own. We owned it 100%.
Owned?
Yes. And we had all these people coming in as technical partners and so on.
Who are the owners now?
Well, they gave us advice that we should privatize. And then, that few of us and some other interests should. And it was a way of opening the door to their ownership of that crude oil. And so today, when you talk about subsidy, what are you talking about? We have to take the crude there. All they need to do is to find a way to weaken us so that we'll be bringing the crude there. And all this coming in and out of government people, they are their people. They are more their people than our people. So those are their proxies, majorly functioning for their interests, because by working for the globalist interests, they are also the champions in our land with all the money to I pass my neighbor syndrome. So that is what you're looking at. And that's why the man shouted at some point that IOCs are the problem. He is not blind. He's not deaf. He's a big-time businessman. You're talking about the richest man in Africa.
Yes.
So he just gave, backing to what we have been saying forever.
But some people are calling, I think this is the House of Representatives, they are demanding the suspension of the NMDPRA chief over alleged sabotage.
Let's even assume that they suspend him. Who will replace him? Are they going to bring somebody from space to replace him?
So do you think that's not possible?
The person who is going to replace him would also be one of them. And it will take a while before we realize that, because he will be playing games. So that's why I said the president is in a position to make a major decision that, okay, I want to use my presidential powers to support this refinery and make it achieve the goal. So now suddenly we're hearing a lot of information because this man spoke up. They are now saying, okay, we have the capacity to hit that 2 million. Why weren't you doing it before? Because for as long as you are not hitting that 2 million barrel per day capacity, for that long, we will be in this problem. Because the 1 point something that you produce is already, gone. Before you even produce it, it's gone.
Maestro, another country is inviting Dangote to come and invest in their country.
Why not?
Is it not looking at, say, okay, we should not know the value of what we have at hand?
It is going to be a massive commentary. Let me be neutral.
Okay.
It's going to be a massive commentary on this tenure, this administration, if that happens. Now, if we don't achieve the goal of this refinery, I think it's going to cost this administration a lot. I don't care about the narrative now, that there are even anybody can spin any narrative now. The way it's been presented. Look, Wura, this is also, don't forget, this is also someone who is solid enough to get the media working. And the media has been working for, in fact, over time for Dangote. Look, I belong to that. That's what I do. And I know that life is looking good now.
For the media.
If you go and do Dangote's story. So it's not something they could sweep under the carpet. It's not something they could handle with federal might. I suggest federal tact instead of federal might at this point. And I think what this thing is doable, especially when they are on the back foot now and saying, yes, we can hit 2 million. Go and hit 2 million like yesterday. If you hit 2 million, you will have a little more gap, the way I understand it. Because you have already finished your 1.250. So if you do like 650 more, it will amount to something.
Okay.
But what I don't also know is if we are out of oil blocks now, that we could not, dedicate some to this enterprise, which whether 20% equity or 7.5% equity, the federal government has a stake in it. So why are we, pretending as if, we are, this man is on his own? Every time you say Dangote refinery, you're also saying Nigerian refinery.
But it seems like he's on his own. I mean, it seems so.
That's what they want to do. They want to throw him under the bus. But Nigerians are, we now understand because he shouted.
Yes, he came out to talk.
And billionaires in dollars don't shout every day.
Yes, but Maestro, what I'm concerned about right now is that Dangote is going. I think a few days ago, he talked about his friends laughing at him.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Because
they are inviting him.
Yeah, they can. All that is part of the game.
Hey.
It's part of the game because he's trying to show that I could go elsewhere and do whatever I need to do. But you see, that investment is heavy.
20 billion or 21.
That's staked against his total fortune. And so he's not going to just dump it and walk away. That's why he's fighting. It's not looking really good. if you see all the pictures, that's not a happy man. And a $20 billion man should be a happy man. And so I don't know. I feel for him a little that because he's one of them. Look, let's not. This is civil war inside of there, and because all these guys who are coming up, they are also billionaires. Don't forget it. And I don't have anything. I have a farm. Nigerians have refineries outside Nigeria.
Wow.
They have refineries outside Nigeria, and that is why they are pleased to be doing this. Let's push out our crude, because they are probably pushing it to themselves.
Okay then, Maestro, let us talk about the President of the Senate, that is Akpabio. Yes, just like you said, he made an apology video while they were at the house yesterday. I want us to listen to that, after which we'll open the phone lines and also just continue the discussion. But he apologized. But the apology, all right, let's just listen to it and watch also. You can come watch on our Facebook page at Akidibo 887 FM. All right, let's see that.
Still learning. Even those of us that have been in the Senate for 16 years, we are still learning. So we'll do well to continue to learn. But in the course of my talking to one of my distinguished sisters, that she should speak whenever she's recognized, I made reference to the fact that we are not in a nightclub where people have to shout above the noise of the music. And the social media went agog. I'm not on social media, but my wife called me that people got angry. They published a number. I am very happy with the interest generated by Nigerians in what goes on in these chambers, because we are here to cater for their interests. And so for them to be so interested in what goes on here means that we are connecting with the people directly. And it would have been terrible if we were doing all this work and the people were not even aware of what we are doing. But the communication was totally misunderstood. Instead of taking it for the nature of what we said, that you should not shout when you are talking, and not and speak when you are recognized, they went into private abuses. I don't want to say what they did to me, because what they did to me, I think I don't merit it. I will not intentionally denigrate any woman. I have a wife, I have 4 daughters, and I always pray that God will lift a girl child to the highest zenith in Nigeria, politically and in business. I also want my children to do well. So, distinguished Senator Natasha, I want to apologize to you if you felt offended. If I had mentioned that we are not in the market, they will say I said you are a market woman. If I said that we are not in a nightclub where people shout above the noise of the music, they will say you went to nightclub. If I said you were not in a community meeting in the village, they will say Akpabio says Natasha is a village woman. For me, there is nothing I will say that will not be misunderstood. I don't know how you took it, but I felt that I should tender a public apology to you over the miscommunication and the misunderstanding. So do accept my apologies, and my colleagues, or anybody who could have felt offended, accept my apologies. I did not mean any harm, and I did not mean what they are misinterpreting.
All right. I do not know how you took it, but I feel like I should apologize.
I think he did very well. It takes... it's not weakness for a man to apologize. It's strength. And he apologized in that speech about 3 different times.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So it's not reserved. It's unreserved. And, you know, explaining the circumstance and everything. Also extending the apology to
other honorable
fellow
members,
senators.
yeah.
So I think he did well in this regard, you know, and that's the thing to do. Maybe next time he would weigh his words very carefully. I don't believe that, you know, he's saying whatever I said, people would have misinterpreted. No, that's not true.
Like the context.
If he had said...
you mentioned that.
Yes.
You mentioned that.
If it had stopped at, look, let's yield the floor before you talk. And the woman immediately said, oh,
she apologized.
Sorry. Then you should have stopped there. But
it is Akpabio.
Yes, being Akpabio will, you know, say something on top of that. And I think, but you see, we should mention something. Now, Dakore Egbusin, she is married, happily so, with children, with her husband, and they were on vacation when this thing struck.
You mean the women mentioned?
Yes. Well, I don't know.
Because that part, I cut it out
about
of
the others, but she came out to tell the world that she's never seen Akpabio in her life. She's never been in the same room, in the same hall with Akpabio all her life. So, how did that happen?
How did the name come out?
And this is the danger that these people put the social media as a social instrument of communication. These very funny fools who they can't even show their faces.
It's a faceless account.
And you know, we go on to celebrate them to no end because, you know, they mirror us in their extreme uselessness. And this is the person who, without batting an eyelid, would destroy a home like that. But apart from, you know, that, who are these people? So when they now come, and he made a subtle reference to that, that we will not in anger go and regulate the social media.
Yes.
We will not in anger. So maybe when the anger cools,
when we are not angry.
And wouldn't they be justified? When you could as easily as that wreck a home, and then you could wreck a business. The last time it was Tony Abraham.
This is even trying to fight for a woman, but on the other end, bringing another woman down, a married woman.
How did the whole thing punish Akpabio himself? You know, they dragged his wife into the business. They dragged all these ladies into the business, and Akpabio himself is sitting pretty. So what kind of sense of justice is that?
All right, it's about time we opened the phone lines now for people to join in the conversation. And the phone lines to call 0704 1001 887 or +234 704 700 8873. Of course, this is not social media, so you know our conversation has to be regulated. Let's listen to this.
Thank you for your attention. It's been lovely to have you keeping it locked on Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Now is the time to join in the conversation, to have the word, hear your voice, because we are the people's voice. Meanwhile, while you contribute to this program, kindly note that in accordance with broadcasting ethics, you are requested to keep your contributions modest, truthful, concise, and not offensive, inflammatory, or with tendencies to cause discomfort to anyone. Thank you. Now, let the conversation begin.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, my name is Samson Akintayo.
All right, sir. Your contribution.
Thank you. Concerning the Senate President's apology, just as he said, he has demonstrated that he's a strong man to have tendered that apology. But for his excuse that there is nothing he could have used, I think it's just an excuse. If he has said he's a community, he's a village person, everybody comes from a village. it will even be an honor to have said, yes, you are village something than saying this. But just as he has apologized, I think we should let this sleeping dog lie. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. The social media, our Facebook page right now, the messages I have there are quite emotional. And I do not think I can just read them up right now. 0704 1001 887. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Wuraola Yusuff from Market.
Okay, sir, your contribution. Your contribution.
Okay. Okay. You see, I want to say that at times I seem sympathetic to Nigeria as a complex country. If you could recollect, our president came out the other day to say that subsidy is gone. His aim then was to salvage Nigeria from the hand of the Kaaba and see what is happening. People are calling for his head. Now the issue of Dangote now. Some people are saying the president is supposed to take a drastic action. He's supposed to deal with them. If the man started again and the thing boomerang again, it is the same person that will come over the president as saying the president does not manage it well. So to me as a person, I don't know when we will have a president that will be able to manage Nigeria effectively in view of the complexity of our country. Thank you and God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0704 1001 887. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
From Malaki area.
All right, sir. Your contribution.
You see, for me, I don't know why our government system is like this. Now, you refuse to do our refinery and the masses are suffering because of petrol issue. Now, somebody raise up and do the refinery instead of you to assist him to find way how to know how to the price of petrol to come down for the masses to live peacefully. Now you are making trouble with him. You don't allow him to do something successfully. Look at Nigeria now.
Oh, please do well to call back if you can this morning at 0704 1001 887. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My brother sister and my brother Maestro. Good morning.
Good morning.
Seems your radio is still near you.
I'm allergic to the online.
All right.
Who made that mochi? It is these same people. You say it's a monopoly. A monopoly. Who made him a monopoly? It is the same people, the same system. You see, you give him all the opportunities to import all this equipment while giving the others. Now he has established. He is now giving back to society. Let's allow him. You don't block the chances of Nigerians having easy fuel when you cannot just one of our own four cannot work. You are making it. You know, I don't know the kind of country we are in. The president is the minister of petroleum resources. Let him wait in. Whatever grievance he had against Dangote before, maybe because some people are suspecting he supported people, he supported this or that. Let's forget about that. We need peace in the land, and we want you to at least do your work so that Nigerian well-being will be adequately taken care of. While pace enough is enough, let them support Dangote so that we have easy fuel. God bless your day.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Rashid Anelka says, it is really scary how people on social media with heavy followers push false narratives just to get tractions and go scot-free. People are doing too much and something needs to be done to curb their shenanigans. It is when people start finding themselves behind bars, perhaps by then we'll have fair climes to live in. Shalajo says, more time care. All right, Mafo J. Peter says, constitutionally, protest is the right of citizens. It is part of the measure of telling government what is right or wrong. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu received your plea for patience and understanding, but we can't afford to be patient on empty stomachs. All right, we have another one from Rashid Anelka saying, well, The Senate President Godswill Akpabio acted well, and his speeches of apology isn't arrogant, cause we have some that will be apologizing and still be unruly about it. All right, 0704 1001 Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is George Akube from Olushe Junction here in Ibadan. Good morning, everyone. Quickly, I'm not in support of people misusing the social media, but for how long will the government pick, issues that concern them and prioritize more? Now, there are so many things people have been agitating for on the social media. They don't show concern about that. They don't really. So many things we even talked. People are suggested on a Agiribo program. Are they treating it? Are they dealing with those words? Now, the issue of EFCC that bullied someone in an hotel, did they hire on it? Did they address it on the Senate floor? Why things that concern them and their family? Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0704 1001 Hello, good morning. All right, all plus 234 704 700 8873. Those are the phone lines. So call Maestro. A military hands over rescued Chibok girl. 1. And 330 others to Borno government. How many years after?
I don't even know. Well, it's if it's genuine, we'll still thank them for bringing that one home. I think there are still about 35 of them, and they left as girls. They returned as mothers, which is very sad because they didn't go through the trip that.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Oh, sorry. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. My name is Ahmed Bello. I'm calling from the UK.
All right. Your contribution, sir.
Yeah. So we're talking about Dangote saying all sort of things about the problem he's encountering in his business. To be honest, I believe that Dangote is part of this business. He has been part of this business in the past. So that's why he's mentioning the names of people who are his problem. So it is just that we don't have lawmakers and probably the head of the nation who can be proactive enough to bring these people to book. Because I was listening to Senate, they are saying, we have to investigate this, who is issuing out the license for people to still bring fuel into the country. Who does that? So I believe the problem boils down to we need proactive measures on whenever a problem is identified, then it should be solved accordingly. So that's my contribution.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Sir, I'm calling from UK. My name is Dotun.
All right, sir. Your contribution.
So is it Oriyomi number complaint?
No, this is not Oriyomi's phone line. This is Agidigbo Studios phone line, and we are currently on a program, The Dailies. Thank you so much for calling in, sir. We sincerely appreciate that. All right, 0704 1001 before we pick more calls, we need to go pay some bills. We're back. We'll pick more calls and also finish up on the Chibok girls talk and also touch up on one or two other things concerning the fact that Senate has approved IGP's tenure extension, and also Mohbad's family conducts a fresh autopsy. We'll touch up on this too when we're back.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
My country people, mama, papa and pikin, make una listen o. Cholera full town o, but make you no fear. Cholera na disease wey you fit prevent with better hygiene practice for your home. Just dey disinfect your floors, clothes and every corner for your yard with hypo bleach. And no forget to dey clean your toilets with hypo toilet cleaner. This way, you go protect your family and stop the spread of cholera.
Big mommy, add that bokoto wey go senior school, put 2 roundabout, anoint the package with that slim thick shaki and
Uncle, no vex o. Which teeth you wan use eat all this orishi? That your teeth will be like where motor jam truck. E no dey worry you again.
that one na before. All thanks to the new Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection.
That's right. The new Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection toothpaste gives you complete oral protection with fluoride and antibacterial zinc to keep your teeth strong, prevent tooth holes, and fight bacteria.
Me sef dey go buy my own new Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection toothpaste.
Close-Up Complete Fresh Protection for your important oral care needs. Available in a blue gel.
I am pregnant. It is important for me to take care of myself and stay healthy.
To be strong and have a healthy pregnancy, take iron and folic acid tablets every day when you're pregnant. This prevents anemia and helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Visit your healthcare provider for regular antenatal care. This message is from the ANRIN Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
ọmọ ti dé ọmọ titun jòjòló òkú oríire má jáfara o gbọ́dọ̀ sọmọ lẹ́nu láàrin wákàtí kan àkọ́kọ́ tọmọ délé ayé láti fún un ní àkọ́kọ́ sí omi ọyàn aláwọ̀ òféèfé yẹn tí wọ́n ń pè ní colostrum. àkọ́kọ́ sí omi ọyàn colostrum yìí ní gbogbo èròjà pàtàkì tọmọ rẹ nílò láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìlera pípé.
ó sì ń ṣèrànlọ́wọ́ láti dènà àrùn fọ́mọ rẹ.
rántí o fọ́mọ rẹ lọ́yàn láàrin wákàtí kan àkọ́kọ́ tó o bímọ.
ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ ANRIN iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Guys, let's go and get seats at that table with Semovita.
Sorry, this table is reserved for the bride's family.
Do you know who I am? I'm the older brother of the sister's last uncle who married their first cousin.
Everybody wants a seat at the Golden Penny Semovita table. Golden Penny Semovita remains my soup's first choice. It's made from premium wheat and fortified with vitamins and minerals to provide a wholesome bowl food that pairs well with Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, 0704-1001-887 or +234-704-700-8873. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Moses again from Malakia.
All right, sir. Your contributions are quickly.
You see, as I was saying, as a good government, you see somebody looks up to help masses on the issue of petrol. What you need is to assist. Once you cannot doing the one we have in our country here, the masses are suffering. You see, that's why you see many companies have collapsed. There's no chance for our youth to get job to do it. For the protest issue, if they are not taken, it's better we protest to fight for our rights. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for your contributions, sir. Maestro, Senate has approved IGP's tenure extension.
Approved what?
IGP's Inspector General of Police and tenure extension.
Well, that's expected. I want to clear something. Dangote did not set up a refinery to help the masses. So we're mixing up issues. He set up a business for himself.
He's a businessman.
To make money. Nobody sets up $20 billion business to help the masses. You know, we get ahead of ourselves when we put issues like that. That's the truth.
A sole person, not a government.
So, but by doing this, within this context, it's going to solve the problem of, pump prices going up every day. So that's what is going on. In the course of making his own money, this thing favors the people of this country. We might end up getting, pump prices, crashed. That's what we're looking for. It's not as if you woke up one morning and said, let me go and help Nigerians with $20 billion.
All right, Maestro, Mohbad's issue. A fresh autopsy. Another one.
It's sad that this thing will not just go, that they won't rest the bones of this young man and let him have some peace. I do not also believe that they are going to get anything from it. Because even before the first autopsy, before the coroner's inquest came up, before the autopsy, the body was already, almost gone. And so they told us they couldn't get a lot. So I wonder what they are going to now get from this second one. But, let them do it because, the mother is involved, the father is involved. And when you have those two people involved in their child's affair, what could we say? Which is why I laugh at a lot of people who sit down on the social media playing judges, from different angles. It's sad that the parents themselves would allow this to go on, like this. But that's the plight of, the people of their status. Which is why I always say, most of the time the poor man could only express his emotions. And not so much intelligence, comes into play. And I'm not saying poor people are essentially unintelligent. That's not what I'm saying, because then I'll be calling myself unintelligent because I also don't have money. But what I'm saying is that people of, somebody would have said, let's go and bury this young man. Between the mother and the father, let's bury him, and then we can go on with what do they seek? The money he's made on his music posthumous, which will soon go. If you, this father and mother, if you give them 1 billion naira today, if you come back next year, it will be gone. Yet, this is what it's boiling down to. This is what it's all about. And it's very sad.
All right. Thank you so much, Maestro. This is where we get to say goodbye again this morning. But let me just say one thing concerning your comments, Mr. Ifayami, go on the Facebook page. This is also a business. And when you come with comments that could disturb or even just things can go wrong, there is something called NBC, Nigeria Broadcasting Code, and we work by that. So you can't just drop any kind of comment and expect me to read such. It's our Facebook page. The comments are there, not deleted. So I don't think there is anything wrong in me not reading your comments if I do not want to. This program is supposed to be moderated. Thank you so much for your contribution. Tomorrow is another day to come talk about our great nation, Nigeria. My name is Wuraola Yusuff, and I'll see you tomorrow.